I have a ton of nendoroids, so many that I could very well make my own video on my favourites. So I will. Here are the top 10 nendoroids that I own. And to make things fairer, I'm only picking one character per series, and I won't pick any Hololive girls. That's for another video. But before we get started, let me know what your favourite nendoroids are in the comments below. The first one I'm going to talk about is Umaru-chan, and I feel like this is the first one I need to talk about because I personally feel like this is the nendoroid that, to me, when people talk about nendoroids as a whole, as a franchise, I always think of this one. This is the perfect design for a nendoroid, and the only reason being is because Umaru-chan was that little chibi version of a character and who is also basically a potato. And if you've never watched it, I would recommend it. It is a lot of fun. It is just so goofy and stupid, and this one was out of print for a long time, and then they kind of re-released her a few years back, and as soon as they did, I just had to get it because, like I said, it is goofy. It is a little small gremlin who is just a load of fun, and I just feel it is the perfect nendoroid design because she just fits into that niche so darn well. And there is another one where I do kind of feel like it works so well. I think younger characters do kind of fit into these a little bit easier, but that's just my opinion. I do love that you get a bottle of cola and a packet of crisps as well. And even though the crisps always kind of fall off whenever I move her, it's always a really good fun just to kind of have her displayed with them and have a little bit of a party with some of the other food related characters. One of the things that nendoroids do well is non-human characters, and Amaterasu is one of my favourites. Now, she is the sun goddess from Okami, a game that no matter how much I talk about it, I never feel it gets the love it does. It was an absolutely belter of a title, and I think I bought it on every system that it came out on, from the PS2 to the Wii to the PS3, PS4. I haven't picked it up on the Switch yet. I do need to pick it up on the Switch because that collector's edition is absolutely gorgeous. And I also picked up Okami Den, which I believe they did release a version of the nendoroid for that. Something you can't really see is the little Isun. He is in there, but you can't really see him particularly well. But there's just something really nice about this. It just looks so cute. The head moves. I just love the paintbrush kind of technique on the tail and the little cute, well, doggo butt. And you have, I can't remember what they call it, it's like a disc with a flame on. It looks a little bit, yeah, it doesn't look fantastic, but it looks good enough. Now, the version I got was actually the cheaper one. I know they did do like a premium version which had like extra discs and like swords and the rosary beads and all kinds of extra shiz, but yeah, I just got the normal one, and I still really like her for that. It's just a really, really nice looking figure. Next up is another one which I don't think gets enough love, and it's from a series that I absolutely adore, and that is Overlord. Now, Ainz himself, I don't think he's had that many re-releases. I think Albedo just recently got a re-release, but if I'm perfectly honest, I think I bought Albedo because I bought Ainz. I never actually went and bought Shaltier eventually though, and I don't know, it's just something really nice about him. I don't think he's ever had a re-release, which is annoying, but on the other hand, there's not really much to this particular nendoroid, but what you do get looks absolutely fantastic. If I remember rightly, you got like maybe some extra hands, and you can kind of play around with his face, and you can take the staff off him, which the staff just kind of feels very, very slack. I don't know why, maybe because this is quite an old nendoroid, but just the design just looks really fantastic on him. I just love this design. It just looks really cool, and you can do a few things. You can give him a bit more of a surprise look, and I'm sure you can open his mouth as well. Oh, and you can take his headdress off. I'm sure you can open this. It's been a long time. I can't remember if you'd say, yes, this is what we all expected to do, just to take the whole thing apart. But yeah, it's a very nice nendoroid. I really do like the look of it, and I don't know, you can just kind of have him look very sinister like I do.
or you can kind of have them look very surprised. And I'm going to have to put this back on with kind of, does it go that way? Yes, you can tell I've had this figure for so long I can't even remember how to do it, but yeah, it's a very cool looking figure. I really like it. It's a really nice one. Re-release, please, for those people who like it, and release more of the Floor Guardians. I mean, I like the Albedo and Shaltir enough, but I kind of want to have all of them at this point, but I don't think it's going to happen. So the next one we're going to talk about is Pretty Derby Uma Musume, and this is Special Week. This anime about horses, or horse racing, and I got this one from the original lineup when it came out. Uma Musume is a weird one for me because I just feel it just went so under the radar originally, and then the second and third seasons just blew up, and it was absolutely massive. I think it was it was bigger than Demon Slayer at one point. But yeah, it's a really nice one, and the reason why I like this is the extra bit. I just love the whole kind of like the little pen where it kind of just makes the whole figure just look that much more dynamic. I mean, it would be a bit of a boring figure if you kind of just had her kind of like running without the extra bit on, but I just love this extra little gate just to kind of make her just look that much better. It is a really, really fun Nendoroid, and I just love the expression. I just love the determination on her. I haven't really done much with her in a long time. I haven't changed any of the faceplates. I kind of opened her and kind of forgot about it, to be fair. But it's one of those ones, whenever I kind of look, it just looks so fantastic, and I just love the dynamic way it's going on. It's the same with the 2B one, which is one that nearly went on this list, but I didn't put her on. But yeah, I just really, really like the way the whole of this one is set up, and I just love the dynamic action. Next is another one from a series that I absolutely love, and I don't know what it is. I feel like these Nendoroids kind of start leaning forwards, it seems. And this is Senku from Dr. Stone. Again, this is another series that I absolutely adore. I really like this one. It's just a really nice looking Nendoroid, and to be honest, it's the hair. The hair makes it. I was struggling to figure out how they were going to do the hair, but it just looks so great. The Bunsen burner kind of flames like hair on a fantastic looking character. I like the extra joints as well. I just like the little extra joints that's on here. It just makes it just look that little bit more cooler. And yeah, the design is just super nice, even because it's something that's somewhat plain. I don't think that he's got like his clothes aren't like anything kind of amazing, which kind of makes sense because obviously it's like cavemen kind of times. But yeah, it's really nice. I like the little glass bottle, and I like the little cracks in his face. And the smug expression just adds it all. I kind of wish they would do some more characters, because I know they did Gen and they're doing Risui, but I kind of felt after Senku I wanted to get a Kohaku. So once they release Kohaku, I'll probably buy all of them. And if you're listening, Nendoroid, good smile, release us some iShield 21 Nendoroids. I would buy all of the iShield 21 Nendoroids, because the only reason I see it at this point is because it's by the same author who did Dr. Stone. But yeah, it's another one. I really, really like the colouring on this. It's a really nice looking Nendoroid. I think it would be very difficult to have a top 10 Nendoroid list without putting in some form of link, and it took me a while to decide on which link I wanted in. While I like the Breath of the Wild one, the horse ruins it, because the horse just really annoys me, because he just doesn't want to stay on the horse. And the Wind Waker one, while that's the one that got me into buying Nendoroids, I just think it's a little bit too plain for my liking. The Majora's Mask one just looks fantastic for me, and I love the fact that you get the bunny hood, so you can either display him as a normal guy or you can have the bunny hood on him. I just love that, and I just feel like Young Link works better as a Nendoroid than Adult Link does. That's just my opinion, and quite frankly, I have the nostalgia for the whole of the kind of Ocarina of Time / Majora's Mask. In fact, this is just confuses, because that's Navi. That's not Tattle or Teal. Is it Tattle or Teal? Is it Tattle? I can't remember. Is it Navi or Tattle? I can't remember. Is it? It is Tattle, isn't it? Yeah, because Tattle's the one that joins you because that's what's called Navi, as in navigation. Tattle as in tattling on the enemy's weakness. But yeah, it's a fun one. I really like all the little extras. I think I got the DX one, which came with like Majora's Mask and stuff like that. Or maybe they all kind of came with that. I don't remember, but yeah, this is another really nice looking one. I love the expression. If you can find it, I would recommend hunting it down. Donuts, time to go nuts. Yes, this one is Aoi from Shirobako, a series that very few people, I feel, kind of have covered. Now, I love this series, and I'm going to be honest, a lot of these picks do also come down to how much I love the series, because there's a lot of ones where I've bought where I like the series and then kind of moved away from it, but there's other ones where I just love the series so much that it kind of gets a pass. Now, I like the donuts, I like the files, I like the design. The blue absolutely pops out, and it's the fact that this got a figure, an Nendoroid, so many years after the anime came out. Yeah, I know it's because of the movie that came out not long after the figure came out, but still, the fact that it exists is brilliant, and she's a really cute one. I really love the cute expression, and it just reminds me how much I love the series so much. And it comes with a really cool accessory in a car. She straight up gets a car that moves. I don't think I've ever seen a car in a Nendoroid any other time. And I don't know, it just makes me laugh that this just kind of like exists. And you can kind of put her on there. You can kind of just make her sit on there. It's very dusty because the car's been in storage for a while. And yeah, it's just a very fun accessory that you, like I said, you just don't see it at all. It's just a really cool little accessory for her. Very nice inclusion. Now, one of the things that people always say to me, well, what can you do with anime figures? They don't really do anything. You can't eat them. They just stand on your shelf, you just look at them. They are quite useless. And I say, no, they're not useless, but this one is. This one is very useless. Now, one of the things I kind of said with this is that I can have one Nendoroid from each franchise, and of course no Hololive, because these would probably be nearly all Hololive ones. And it took me a long time to decide who out of Konosuba I had to pick, because the Konosuba Nendoroids are fantastic. They're always well regarded, and they just look great. And the reason being is that all of the characters have eye-popping colours. Aqua has aqua hair, Darkness has yellow, Megumin has the whole explosion thing going on, and Kazuma kind of completes the set. But Aqua, I kind of, when I looked on the shelf, I mean, I've had this figure for what, 5 or 6, 7 years now, and I've never changed her pose once. I've always had her on this pose because this was just perfect for her character. Yeah, I mean, this might make you think that she's somewhat useful, but yeah. Her crying, running away with her little kind of weapon in one hand, just looking pitifully useless, is the perfection of the character. Now, other characters, you kind of look at them and just go, oh yeah, that's like that character, that's what they're like, that's what they like, and everything. This just tells a story in its own way. It is just one of the perfect Nendoroids. It is absolutely fantastic in every way. And now I kind of feel like I've kind of hyped this one up so much that the rest of them are kind of like, I mean, this isn't in any particular order. I just kind of felt like I had to kind of put them in some kind of order, and I kind of want to have the last three. I kind of interchanged them. But yeah, I mean, Konosuba on a whole, all of the Nendoroids are great, but this one is easily my favorite. It is just so great. The expression is fantastic. It tells a story just by looking at it. It is just brilliant. Now, another series that I absolutely adore all of the Nendoroids for is Laid Back Camp. And again, I really struggled on who it was I had to pick as my choice. I nearly had Ina because Chikawa is included. I also nearly picked Rin, but the Rin I got was kind of... It came with a lot of extra stuff. It was the DX one, but then they went and re-released her with like the scooter, which I kind of felt needed to be in the original one, and I just couldn't justify buying it again. But Nadeshiko is kind of like the joint main character, and I don't know, the DX version, it's a solo camping, so you kind of get enough to kind of make her do her own thing. Now, I did do a full-on unboxing on this one on this channel because it is one of the more recent Nendoroids I've got, but it is still a fantastic Nendoroid. It is a really good one. Like I said, you can have your own little setup on a shelf, just kind of her camping off in the middle on a shelf or something somewhere. She's on her own solo camp. It makes sense. But I just love this one, and I really hope that they do get around to doing some of the other characters, like the teacher or the girl with the motorbike, who I don't think might actually be in the anime. She's definitely going to be in season 3, and actually from the manga it looks like they're introducing even more girls, including one who can draw. So yeah, this one is a fantastic one again. I really like it, and it was very difficult to choose who, but because she's on her own solo camping, it just made sense. And the last one is a character that nobody in the world is allowed to hate. Nobody. It is illegal to actually dislike this character. And it's probably my second favourite manga of all time. The first one, of course, being One Piece. And this character is the epitome of happiness. The epitome of the motto, enjoy everything. And that is Yotsuba. Now, there's nothing really groundbreaking about this Nendoroid. I think she has her own sculpt for her own face, but that's about it. But much like Aqua and the Uma Musume Pretty Derby, this one also tells a story. I mean, this is a very significant moment in the series when Yotsuba decides she's going to paint a table and ends up getting paint everywhere, and then kind of lies about it and pretends she didn't do it or what have you. But it tells a story, and there's just something innocent about this. There's just something, this just makes you happy. It is a very happy Nendoroid. And I've always said, every time I did like Nendoroid ones for Hololive, I've always said I really appreciate the happy looking Nendoroids. They always just look so happy and adorable. And I've actually forgot something here. I actually forgot that this one actually comes with something else. It comes with Duralumin. That's right, Yotsuba's teddy bear, who can be posed in exactly the same pose. You can also actually get, who I didn't really like this Nendoroid much, but it is a cool little addition. You can also get Danboard as well. And I said, this is just a really good Nendoroid. I just love it. I love the unique sculpt. I mean, Yotsuba, again, much like Umaru, just fits perfectly into the Nendoroid range. It is just fantastic, and the fact that it just tells a story while coming with plenty of accessories is amazing. There is another Yotsuba one coming out which I do have on order, which I'm kind of tempted to cancel, but I'm not sure. I love this series so much, and as soon as I reread it, I'll probably be loving it again. I think it's next on my reread list. It's been a few years, but I had to choose this one. It had to be this one. There couldn't be any others that I had to put as my favourite. Aqua is perfect, and a lot of them are great, but this one is just a fantastic Nendoroid from the fantastic series. You can't hate this series. It's impossible to hate this series unless you're weird.